to and able to and dedicated to talking that liberty. We're on camera, so I can't quote Dave Smith completely. Talking that liberty stuff, and I want to be doing that for you.
If we have questions for the candidates, come on up to the microphone.
Hello. So we have 4 statewide races this election year. So I was curious if both of you, or I guess my question is, are you willing, if you lose this nomination, to seek another one of our statewide nominations? Thank you.
Briefly, I would hear a motion to limit the answers to 1 minute apiece.
So moved.
Any objection? Okay, 1 minute each, guys.
I probably wouldn't. I'm expecting a child, so this was not something that I was expecting. But if I didn't get the nomination, I'd focus on my family.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, congratulations.
Congratulations, sir.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to seek the governorship. I'm not an attorney, so I don't think I could be attorney general. And I don't have much of an accounting background, so treasurer, I would not feel qualified to do either.
Brandon, go ahead.
Do either of the candidates have any opinions on personal dress code policies, specifically hoodies on the Senate floor?
I think all hoodies should be the tuxedo variety hoodies that have been made popular.
To represent people, you're supposed to show a little bit of integrity and decorum. To show up for the job that you're elected to do, you should at least look presentable.
All right. Mike?
So given the unfortunate political reality that Senate is almost certainly an unwinnable race, what is your guys' view of the role and the goal of such a race, and then what is your strategy to meet that role and goal?
The goal of any statewide or national-wide race for the Libertarian Party has to be about growing this movement, about getting our message out there, connecting with the people, letting the people know that they have a libertarian streak within them, and we need to water that and let it grow and watch it grow and watch it flourish. We're not going to win the Senate. I am under no disillusion that I think that I'm going to be in Washington next year, maybe for the convention, but not for being in the Senate. But we can spread our message, and we can build the next wave of Ron Paul type movement going throughout the state of Pennsylvania.
I totally agree with that. It's to inspire people. You want to go out there and show them that they can make a difference. It's not just you making a difference, but you making a difference, or anyone going out there and making a difference, is a light to someone. You might not see that light, but people that show up to these meetings, your party, your area, your counties, they see a little fire in you. They're gonna come and follow and start doing some things, and good things come of that. Like I said, there's everybody saying this is not a winnable race. They would throw it at me probably just as now you're in it and then you're stuck. But who knows what's gonna happen? But doesn't mean you don't try.
All right, thank you. Luke?
So despite the fact that we all acknowledge that it's an unwinnable race, obviously our messaging is very important, based in the principles of liberty. And one of the big things that we talk about is the importance of foreign policy. And one of you mentioned how the major party candidates want to send money to Ukraine or Israel. Another one that's typically a hot topic is Taiwan. I suppose I'll just ask this much more broadly. Are there any foreign conflicts or alliances that you think the United States should be involved in?
Alliances for business, yes. Alliances for war and putting people under thumb, no. So, like leaving the UN, something that has been suggested, that should happen. That's seriously something that should happen. I mean, the whole World Economic Forum where they're saying they want to tell us what to do. We are a sovereign country, or sovereign people. We need to defend that, and we need to stick to the guns about that. And sending money overseas that is not a loan, is not a business deal. It's just throwing money away. Why are we paying taxes if they're printing money and throwing it away? Why are the American people under thumb for something they didn't start? So those things got to end. The wars too.
Yeah, I agree. We don't need to be involved in any more wars, any more conflicts. We need to get out of a lot of the alliances that we are in, including NATO, UN. George Washington warned us about entangling alliances. The 20th century was a century of murder and mayhem because of entangling alliances. Getting out of these alliances is a step towards life and liberty.
Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, while the message is incredibly important, there are some, and we all acknowledge that, there's not going to be a winner here of the actual race. But there is an important aspect of our party status that Eric's campaign last time maintained for us. So, so it's not only about the message, but getting the message far enough out there and getting enough votes in these statewide races so that we maintain our status. So what are specific plans or strategies that you guys have to get out there in front of voters, how you are going to do that and deliver that message to deliver those votes?
I think there's a historical precedent for what a candidate who's running as a third party can get done without even winning. If we look back to the very first election that I was really aware of was the 1992 presidential election, where you had Ross Perot running, and Ross Perot got 30% of the vote. He didn't win, but he was running on one issue, and that was to balance the budget. And at that time, nobody thought balancing the budget was even in the realm of possibility. You had Ronald Reagan, who was supposed to be a conservative, who just grew the budget and exploded the budget. Ron Paul got 30% of the vote, and because of that, both the Republicans and Democrats were like, oh crap, we need these voters back. And to get that back, they passed a balanced budget. We can tell voters that, hey, you're not throwing your vote away by voting for libertarians. You are sending a powerful message that what is happening right now in Washington is unacceptable. And if the two parties want your vote back, they're going to have to give up the wars, they're going to have to give up the big spending, they're going to have to give up the big regulations, and they're going to have to get us back to liberty.
To get the same numbers we got last time, I mean, it requires all of you, every single one of us. Primary day was what we attacked last time to get all our signatures, getting out in front of all the other voters because, libertarians aren't included in primaries. So we were already attacking other voters prior to the election. And we need to do that again. We need to go out on primary day. We need to get as many signatures for our presidential candidates, our Senate candidates, whoever it is, and meet the voters, meet the other voters, which are the Republicans and Democrats, and show them that there is the third option. And, they can make their own decisions on what they like. And truthfully, I know they don't like the Republican and Democrat parties because they aren't giving them what they need. They're only just taking away. And we offer them freedom. And that's where everybody's mindset's getting to. And I think eventually the populace will move in that direction.
All right, thank you. Caleb.
Good afternoon. We started this day off talking about morality, ethics, and human rights. In regards to the current topic that sweeps the nation, when it comes to abortion, IVF, where do you stand on the issue?
I would allow, I think the federal government should allow states to be involved in solving state issues. If there are immigrants flooding into a state, then the federal government should not be standing in their way if they're trying to do things to deter that. But I'm not for any increase in government spending at all. So hiring more border agents, just spending more money is not the answer. Abortion, I think that was the other hot button issue that you brought up, right? Okay. I am a pro-life person. I have my pro-life caucus pen on right now. Thanks, Samuel. But I don't necessarily think that the government is the answer to that. I think that there are other answers. As a matter of fact, before Roe versus Wade was decided, the vast majority of people would never even consider getting an abortion. But because the government stepped in and said this is an acceptable practice, this is a practice that we approve of, now those numbers have shifted. Whenever the government decides morality, it creates an immoral system. So it's a very important issue to me, and I think that we need to find non-government solutions for it.
I do believe that the border should be a border. It should be something that is protected. You want to say you want to have it open to everyone for free of travel, that's how we have it through America. But now you're having other people infringe upon other people's rights, of which it's their property. And you can't have private property rules if you're just allowing people to willy-nilly thing. Meaning we own nothing. We own nothing, we work for half of what we make, and we get to sit with that. I don't agree with an American slave colony. I would like everyone to be free to do what they want, but as long as you don't hurt nobody. And it's the same thing with abortion. I mean, you're now hurting somebody, and while it shouldn't happen, there's many cases where it should be an option for someone to make themselves. Making the government say that that's okay for you, that's not okay. States, same thing. It should always be a personal decision.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chair, by the schedule for the convention, I believe we're supposed to be on break. Can I motion to extend until we finish this?
I'd ask unanimous consent to extend for 5 minutes.
I would say extend up to 10 minutes to finish at the very least, the voting, if not the tally.
Any objection? All right, hearing none, we'll continue.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to just clarify. Can I ask a question of one candidate, or does it have to be a
No,
question?
you can ask a question of one. Yeah.
Fantastic. Mr. Thomas, I was talking to some of your fellow members from Armstrong, and it's my understanding that you decided this morning, I believe, to accept this nomination or seek this nomination. Is that true?
That is actually untrue. It was this afternoon.
This afternoon. Thank you. So I want to be clear. These answers we've been hearing from you are not ones that you've studied for, prepared for, or you have been speaking off the cuff answering these questions. Is that correct?
Well, I've kind of been preparing my whole life because I have I've been speaking this liberty talk for a while.
Thank you, sir. That is just what I wanted to verify.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, both candidates. All right, any further questions to the candidates? We got one more? Okay.
All right, my question is, it's kind of like a two-part that you both have to answer a separate question, but as far as John, Eric has a ton of investment in running. He still has a lot of stuff from the previous year he ran. how are you gonna kind of keep up with that? Like, can you even get the resources and stuff like that Eric already has? And to Eric, are you sure you could do the same thing if you just kind of announced to us that you have some personal things going on? And can you put the same effort in? So that's my question.
I was around when Eric was campaigning. He did a heck of a job last time. I'd actually give him a round of applause. Whenever he came to my small town of Kittanning last year, he was out meeting everybody he could. I learned a lot. I've never run a campaign, and I learned from him, and I appreciate that. I might have talked a lot of Liberty stuff, but I learned stuff from Eric. And I think that, yeah, we would have to build some things up. And no, I cannot do that, not alone, but with all these people in this room and those people you have in contact back home, we can build up the capacity to run a meaningful campaign for Senate.
My family is going to be a priority of mine, and I've already marked the month of June when she's due. Just, it's up in the air. That month alone, I will not be putting my time in because I'm going to be there for my lady, and whatever time I can give, where I can go. If you guys all invite me to the events near you, we will do the same thing. We'll network. I'll show up for your events. We'll meet as many people in your counties as we can, and we'll do the same thing. As much as I can, I will give you.
One quick question. I already know the answer from Eric, but Mr. Thomas, are you or have you ever been a Toastmaster? They expect it from me,
I have never been a Toastmaster. Maybe you could tell me more about Toastmasters during break.
Breakfast tomorrow morning, sir. We're doing a demonstration.
All right. Any other questions for the candidates? All right. We're ready for a vote?
Yes.
All right. We're going to do the same way that we did the candidates for vice chair. So the regional representatives, if you will, please take your rows.
Thank you, gentlemen. You can go take your seats and you can vote for yourself if you like, or each other, whatever.
Or each other.
Or maybe NODA.
All right. Or do we have any announcements that want to go on while we're taking a vote? Nathan, do you hear?
Fundraising has,
Yeah, I can do that now.
Hold on. Hey, Alicia, could you take over for Nathan so he can do an announcement?
Does he want me to do it before he gets funded?
I want to be an officer. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, is taxation theft?
Okay, great, yeah.
Mostly.
Mostly. We're gonna string you up.
We need an answer.
All right. So, the LPPA shop again. We've got another giveaway. This is a pretty awesome porcupine fanny pack. All right, and just one more thing in addition to the giveaways and the items that we have to show and tell for the store, we do have pens, much like the ones that you have in front of you, but without the feather. We have those for sale, so if you do want a pack of pens, we're selling them in either 6 packs or 24 packs, so you can take them back with you to your counties and use those pens. For the fanny pack, the winner is, and I'll try not to mess this up. Bree Axford. Do we have Bree Axford? The next giveaways will be at the Bash tonight.
What time? What time's the bash?
The Bash is from 9 to 11.
So, we're on break now?
All right, let's take a break. Now, what time is it? It is 12:50. 3:40. Let's come back at. Let's take 10 minutes. 3:50.